Welcome back, guys, to KRS Investment, where investments are made simple. Now, it's a great day today to start the stream. There's a ton of information that I want to let you guys know about. If you guys have been following this channel, as usual, we talk about investing in the stock market, investing in real estate, of course, owning your own small business, and definitely talk about how we continue to invest in people, which is one of the best investment, guys. Got to invest in people to make sure that you're investing in the right people in your circle to keep you motivated. Now, today is a very important segment. If you take a look at my screen, we are discussing DIDI. Yes, we're discussing DIDI again. Very excited to let you guys know that DIDI is down tremendously today. We take a look at $2.04, down 17% for the day. Was down as low as $1.90 for 25%. It was a very bad day for DIDI. However, again, this isn't a however I want to talk about. If you had invested in DIDI this morning at day's low at $1.90, you could have turned a profit, because we saw that it moves from $1.90 back up to $2.30 per share. And these are some of the movements that I talk about, guys. Is that buy low, sell high. Even though you have a long-term mindset, is that you got to take advantage of the short-term gains as well. Again, if you had invested in DIDI this morning at $1.90, then definitely you would have seen a great amount of increase. When we think about it, that's a upswing of 21%. Again, just want to cover that. Now, guys, if you have been following my channel for the last few months or a year, I appreciate it. If the content is making sense to you, if it's helping you in any way, definitely show your support by go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. Listen, we're building a family here, so we can continue to make sure that we are actually investing in people, right? Now, there's a ton of movement in the market this morning. If I'm looking back and forth, it's because I'm actually trading as we go as well. We're always looking to do something. Now, there's a few news that came out in terms of DIDI. There's a few things that came out in terms of DIDI, and we saw that the big story of the day was that, hey, DIDI announced that they're actually now in process of planning to be delisted from the US stock exchange. I should say from the New York Stock Exchange. There is a meeting to come May 23rd, I believe. So we will know more in terms of what the outcome will be at that time, but I'm pretty confident it's not looking so great for us. The reason why I say that is that there is a strong possibility that they will get delisted. Now, however, how will that affect the stock price? We're not sure yet. There is a lot of optimism of what's actually going on. Now, what's important to actually think about as well is that DIDI actually report they report a loss in their earnings report as well. So that's kind of make things a little bit worse than what we expect from the company. Now, in the long-term gain, it's not looking so long-term right now, but we have to think about the long-term gain of the company. What are we looking for exactly? What do we expect? And what do we think? Now, if we take a look here, there's a ton of information you can see. If we go back the last 3 months, we have seen, let's go back here from when we see DIDI make that huge rise last year, but then by the end of the year, we saw it close off down below $5 per share. Now, we have a few up and down sideways consolidation here. Doesn't really tell the full story. But the big thing was back in March, we saw that the stock was down big time to $1.71 back in March, and then we saw a quick turnaround when we break $4.21 and ultimately go back up to $4.68, and everyone starts to cheer because that was a great move in terms of Diddy. But since that time, we have not seen much movement in terms of the stock price. There's a few moves here and there. Now, as I told you guys that in the short term, it's a great idea to take some profit. Now, just want to go over a few things here on my screen. There's a few articles out. I see one here by Reuters that says, let's just go over here. Okay, so there's an article by Bloomberg that I was reading earlier today. If we take a look here, just want to make sure that you guys are seeing exactly what I'm reading from. I want to make sure this is not my own words, guys. This is actually something that I want to make sure that you guys are actually aware of what's going on. Now let's just switch screen here. So let's switch screen over here for a sec. Now, if we're looking here, we see that it says Diddy Global, it tumbled Monday after the Chinese ride-hailing giant said it's planning to delist its US traded shares. Now, the company also reported that its quarterly loss almost doubled, guys. This is actually crazy compared to last year. Let's see, where was I reading here? It says Diddy reported that its fourth quarter net loss was down by 95% from a year earlier to 383 million yuan. That's a 13% decline. And what's important as well is that since IPO'd, Diddy is down, I believe, around $54 billion. I was looking somewhere in this article as well, just to let you guys have a little recap. So not really a great situation right now for Diddy. Hugely disappointed. I was really looking forward to make some good moves in Diddy, but if you guys are wanting to read more in terms of the article, then I would definitely suggest that you can go through. There's a ton of different information here. Also as well, guys, if you guys want to there's a site that you can always go to as well. It's called Finviz, that you can actually do research in companies. It's a very neat site. There's a few others out there, but this one I think to me gives some good information here. Like in terms, you can see all the articles combined, so you don't need to look at too many places to get information. As you can see, there's an article here. So this is the one that we read just now, but there's a ton of them. We see this one here by the street.com that says same thing basically. Diddy promises big announcement in May. So we already covered that information there. But there's let's see, here is okay, Monthly Fool as well. They had an article that says in terms of the earning, traded more than 30% lower as of 10/11 today after the company announced earning results for the fourth quarter. So basically they're covering most of the same stuff that we completed there, but it's a great place that you can go through and look through the history of things that of articles that was created for the company earlier. It'll make a huge difference. It's a great place that you could tap into in case if you want to do some research, because that way, you know, it gives you some stuff. Now, it does have a few pop-ups that you see here, but at the end of the day, guys, if we're not paying for it, I do not worry about the pop-ups. You can use a pop-up blocker if you choose to, but it has a ton of information in terms of Diddy. Like all these articles, you can see the tagline here that says April 18. It gives you a ton of information, but basically the news is basically the same thing. If we take a look here, and we can see this one for Barron's. It's the same thing basically. One is the share price went down because of the delisting news. That's the main thing basically everyone is speaking of. And two, in terms of the fourth quarter result, They reported a huge loss and not very profitable in this last 2 years. So that's one of the big announcements that continue to drive the stock price lower. If you guys are familiar with anything what's going on right now, you understand this is very important for the company to bounce back. So they will have some tough times until we can get that information cleared up. Now, next stock I want to talk about as well, since I'm here to take advantage of what's going on, Veru. Now, Veru kind of hold its price. Really surprised today that it holds up in terms of its price. So not much worry there. And again, if you want to get more information, you can take a look here. Same thing as what I said earlier. You can check this site out to do your research, because then it helps you to compile everything. And it does give you some information which is very good in terms of investing, such as the market cap of the company. It gives you a ton of information here. We can look at where the stock was. So it gives you a chart of up to 6 months. You can change around, you can make it full screen, you can do a few customization. It gives you all of the articles that have any kind of news, not 100%, but it gives you a good amount. It combines everything, it compiles it for you, so you can definitely do your research. And again, guys, this is one of the sources I use on a day-to-day basis, whether it's on the weekend if I'm doing research to take a look at any company, because obviously you can go to individual sites to do your research, but if you could find the information at one place, then it makes a huge difference. You don't need to look through Bloomsburg or Barron's or Monthly Fool or Yahoo. Like, if you go here, it basically gives you most of the information. Now, we have covered this in the last video that was last week, but the main thing we want to talk about Veru here in the pre-market. Now, in the last trading day and Thursday, we saw that Veru came back down. It was 1350 before closing. Then we saw it goes up to 1540 in the aftermarket. And then before market close in the aftermarket, goes back down in the low 14, I believe was what, $13.60 around that number. But then we saw it opens up for the day, opens up at 1360. It goes for a day high of 1445, and now we saw it recently just came back down in the $12.47. Now, is this a concern? Okay, there's two answers for Veru, and I hope you guys are watching. Again, this is KRS Investment, where we talk about stocks, we talk about investments of all kinds. It could be in real estate, it could be opening up your own business, it could be in mortgages. Information is literally key if we keep sharing. Now, as I said earlier, guys, Veru is still at a good price if you're thinking long term based on the expected news from the FDA. If there's any news that says, hey, the FDA have granted temporary use of Veru oral COVID medicine, then the price will definitely jumps to at least $30 per share. I'm targeting $27 per share, but I know it can go higher than 27 in the mid 35. So this is based on any new news that comes out and says anything positive to do that. Yes, they have get permission or granted access to use, then the price will definitely goes up in terms of the share price. Now, it's very important, guys, to make sure that you're doing your research. You want to make sure that you're doing your research too before you invest, and this is very, very important, guys. Regardless of the situation, make sure you're doing some research before you invest in the stock market, because anything could happen at the end of the day. We want to make sure that we're making the right decision to invest in the stock market. Now, again, this is a great tool. It's FINVIZ .com. You can use it to do some research. It's very easy to use. At the top, you have an option to search the ticker symbol or the company. The great thing about this tool here, it could give you some information if you're searching to find like any companies as well. If you want to find the companies in, if you want to find the top 20 companies, if you want to find the top 10 companies in earnings, or the top 10 company in say revenue, it's a great tool that you can punch that information in. It has a great filtering system. No, I'm not affiliated. I just used it in the past, and it happens that I'm using it today. So obviously I'd like to give whoever that owns it the shout out to say thank you, as it's free. Now, next thing I'll talk about, guys, is to make sure that we are actually doing your research. Because again, when was it, last week when I created the first video, actually 2 weeks ago I created a video and I said, hey, keep an eye on Veru. A lot of people that didn't watch the video fully, they missed out, and this is what I start doing now. In the videos I drop a few nuggets here and there to tell people that, hey, keep an eye on this stock, because this may have something coming up. And if they watch the video, then definitely they will be alerted. Now, if you're not yet subscribed, it is a great opportunity that you hit that subscribe button right now to make sure that you're supporting the channel. Click that notification bell so you will get notified when there are new videos that we put out there. And I just have to drink a little bit of water here. No, I'm not sponsored, so just turn the logo off. Now, as you can see, guys, there's a few stocks. We talked about DIDI earlier, and now we're talking about Veru. We continued talking about Veru from last week. I still think it is a great pickup, and the intent that we will get the authorization to use this from the FDA. Another stock we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about our favorite last 2 weeks ago that made a huge splash. Sunshine Biopharma. Many of you guys know this stock make a huge headline, but since that time, not much of action, I would say, from the company. And we all see there wasn't much action because the stock is down today. If we take a look now, 9%. It was down lower earlier at $3.42, but the great news is that it opens up at $3.72, but then it actually went up to $3.96. But since that time, it came back down. So I'm still holding a small position and Sunshine Biopharma. Now, as you guys could see, set markers or alerts to help to remind you when the stock starts to go up. Now, I have 4 price point that you can see here: $4, $5, $6, and $7. So those are the price point that, because I'm trading, I want to make sure my system will alert me if the price starts to move. At this price right now, if we're comparing the last 10 days, then this price is a price that I would recommend that if you want to invest in Sunshine Biopharma, this is a price point at anywhere from $3.20 to $3.70 per share. This is a great price point, anywhere in that 50-cent range. Now, same as what I said earlier, if you feel you need to do some research, or you need to check to see if there's any articles or news or anything that came out, you can use your own research resources. But if you don't have one, then you can punch it into this site that I told you, and then it can combine some articles, the most recent articles that came out, and then you can go through. Now, we haven't had any new form of communication rather than the typical stuff that we see online, but we haven't had any formal communications from the company with anything new that changed. So you can check here, or you can go on the main website for the company, and then you can do some research. But my take on it for this week, at this price, is not a bad price. Again, I picked up some shares earlier, and I will see how it is. Now keep in mind as well, the market was doing fairly poorly this morning. We saw in multiple sector the similar response. So if you guys are in the market, then definitely it's a no-brainer to consider investing in this company. If you're planning to get into the biotech field, then this is a great field. But definitely with Veru, I feel more confident. There is more of a momentum right now. However, we understand the importance in terms of treating cancer, and of course, because COVID is something that's happening right now, it's more of a momentum, right? Because people are expecting, hey, okay, it shows 55% reduction in deaths, so we're going through a COVID situation right now, so hey, maybe this company is better, right? But in reality, people have been dying from cancers for years. But because of the nature of what's happening right now, Veru seems to be one of the better options. Now, moving away from Sunshine Bio, or small favorite for some people, let's shift to the EV space for a bit. We have seen that the EV space did not do so well today. If we take a look at companies such as, put my screen over here, there's a few movers today. So in the EV sector, just want to make sure we're covering everyone here. So the winner in the EV side today, we saw Tesla. Tesla is the winner in the EV side today. A day low of $973 per share. But then we saw they rise back above $1,000 per share and holding. Now, everyone else is just down as usual. We saw Rivian, we saw Lucid, like all the big guns are still down. Now, won't really go over like all the big guns, but I want to talk about MULN, right? So similar, we can punch it in over here, and then we can get all the latest like articles in terms of MULN. And this is a great idea as well. I'm not telling you guys how to do your research, but I like to go through these articles. Now, if you have multiple screens, it's easy because then you could just go through different articles at the same time. But nothing new in terms, but there was one article that I wanted to share with you guys in terms of MULN. And let's take a look here. I'm just going to switch over so you guys could see exactly what I'm seeing. So there's an article here. Let's see who wrote this article. By Shivani Kumarasan. Okay, so Shivani Kumarasan from Bensinger. So basically they have a few bullet points that says MULN Automotive plans to start electric vehicle battery pack production in its research and development facility in California. So this news is not very new. Learned of this a few weeks back. Company is redeveloping the facility to make room for EV battery packs. So I think to be successful in the EV space, you got to invest heavily in the battery space to make sure you have the right facility, right people that doing your research and development team. So it is a great move. It says battery packs will be used in MULN's EV vehicle lineup. We know that. 1 EV cargo van, 5 EV crossover, and Dragonfly. So it's same information. Basically, that information was communicated a few weeks back. I believe the CEO was doing an interview, and I hear those information. Now, the important thing right now is that MULN was down $1.76. And what do we do when we have these prices, guys? What do? We go in and buy as many shares as we can. $1.76. I was able to get some shares at $1.82. 2 cents. Now let's see how it plays out. MULN is very tricky. Price volatility, gotta be careful because it may swings both ways. If you're not committed to stay long term, I would suggest to stay away from this company. However, if you're planning to go long term, you can make great trades on it. Now, if you're doing day trading, you can make great trades on MULN as well as any short-term trades. We saw loss in the last 2-3 weeks. We saw when MULN breaks $4 per share, instantly came back down below $3, but then rise above $3.50 again, and then we saw the same thing a few weeks back, came down to as low as $2.16, I believe. On this day we make a trade. Let's see. Came down $2.16 one of these days. Let's see here, because we made some trades here. $2.16. Okay, so that was when last week. Yeah, last week. So $2.16. He came down, was able to get in at $2.21. Was able to sell again above $2.80. So MULN has been very, very good for short-term traders, right? If you're doing short-term traders or day trading, you can make a ton. But if you're going long-term, you want to buy this company when the stock is trading at these prices. This is a beautiful price. To me personally, it is still a high price, but because I've made so many I would say successful trades, it's okay to go in at this price. We're looking at a price of $1.87. If you're just going in, if this is your first time investing in MULN Automotive, then I strongly recommend that do your research first as usual. And if you're confident this is the company you want to invest in, there are a ton of different company in the EV space in the same kind of a small cap. Then if this is the one that you want to choose, then definitely it is a great pickup. Now there's another ticker symbol, Solo. It's another company that if you're planning to do in a similar role, it could be a great option for you as well. But if you're confident and that's the company you want to go with, then it's not a bad choice. Now let's just take a look at one thing here. So shares outstanding to date, just over 34 million, 517 million market cap. So any positive news, you will know with these small cap companies, the stock price will jumps instantly. This is why I think at $1.87 or $1.85, it is a great price going short term. But again, it may be okay for me, it may not be okay for you. This is why you got to do your own due diligence to make sure that you're investing in these companies at the lowest price possible. Now let's go back to Veru for a sec, because I believe the price starts to retract a little bit. It was up at $12.60, so we exited trade, and we're gonna go back in at $2.20. There's a buy order that's set there, so let's see if it catches, because this is gonna be a great day. Let's see here. So guys, anything under $12.60 for the intraday, it's a great price. I strongly believe that we will cross this back $13 per share in the aftermarket for sure. If it starts to pull back, then I'm definitely gonna hold on to whatever picked up today until tomorrow. We're not selling anything cheap today. We want to make sure we're holding profits and build from there. But make sure that you guys are looking into MULN Automotive. Now, as usual guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead, click that like, smash that notification bell, make sure that you get up to date. Now I will try to do a live stream daily at 3 p.m. unless otherwise I'm not able to for some strange reason. If I'm busy, if the market is going crazy, then I would be doing a lot of trading, so it might not be possible at that time. But if you're a part of this channel, as usual, guys, we thank you for the support. We could not have done this without you guys. This is a great situation for you guys to be helping me out, show some love, show some support. Let's keep it based on the investing to make sure that we're choosing the right investment, we're doing the right research. If you guys have any comment, leave it in the comments window. I will go through the comments once we're done. I'm trying out a new software for the streaming, so I'll see how this plays out when I watch, and then we'll go ahead and see what's up. So again, like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, guys, peace out.